and I'm standing here today heartbroken because, and I'm determined to speak for my mum Marie, who passed away just January 4th this year in Wexford General Hospital. She lived with Alzheimer's for the last 10 years, just over a decade, mostly at home, and me and my three brothers, we were her carers in those 10 years, never leaving her side. Because I can't see you. Never leaving her side. We cared for her with love, but then later on in years she needed nursing care. So this year she ended up, we'll go back to the nursing home situation in a moment, but this year in December I called into the nursing home and she was very sick. It was obvious to me she was very sick. The doctor was not in-house, he was gone for Christmas. There was no backup doctor, no care doctor arrived, and she ended up being taken by ambulance on our request to Wexford General Hospital because it was clearly obvious that she was so sick. She never came out of Wexford Hospital. It was a UTI infection that resulted in sepsis, and sepsis is as a result of an untreated infection, as we all know, and she died from sepsis on January 4th. We were visiting her in the hospital every day. She was on IV antibiotics, she was making improvements, and then on December 29th they told us we could no longer visit her. They had placed a ban on visiting, and that they would notify us when that ban would be lifted, and it was due to the flu virus. I explained to them that my mum had advanced Alzheimer's and that she was so used to having her family and the sound of our voices and all of that, and they said there was just no visitors allowed. So every morning I would call to see how she was doing, and on January 4th they told me that the morning of January 4th she was doing well and they were sending her back to the nursing home on the Monday. And then at 7 o'clock that night she passed away. She passed away on a 6-bedroom ward. She was a whole week almost without seeing any of her family, and ironically they allowed us to come in that night to the ward, to the 6-bedroom ward, and sit with her at midnight after she was gone. So all of those rules that we have a flu virus, we can't let you in, they masked us, they gowned us, and then they brought us into a 6-bedroom ward where people were sleeping at midnight to say goodbye after she was gone. And I just don't think I'll ever get over that. I just can't believe, and that has to change. It has to change. Where is their compassion, for the elderly people who need their families? So, just give me a moment and I'll go back to, I want to go back to, so to compound our grief, our first nursing home she resided in failed us deeply in Wexford. And the care failed us deeply, and to the point where, in our opinion, she was chemically restrained. She was isolated in a dark day room by day, and I just constantly asked them to move her. What was wrong with my mother? I could hardly recognise her. She couldn't stand. She couldn't string a sentence together. She was so